Set feet row, 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 set feet row.
John Paul Jones is a pirate, no loyalty does he possess. Keep it up, we'll catch the pirate, and sink him along with the rest.
Ho! Set feet row, set feet row, set feet row, set feet row.
Born the son of a Scot, he was born the son of a Scot. But cut a man down in his prime, he did, so away to Virginia he got.
Oh, John Paul Jones is a pirate, no loyalty does he possess. Keep it up, we'll catch the pirate, and sink him along with the rest. Ho! Set feet row, set feet row, set feet row, set feet row.
Raise the flag of the Yanks, he did, raise the flag of the Yanks. They hailed him as a hero, they did, and hoisted him up through the ranks.
Oh, John Paul Jones is a pirate, no loyalty does he possess. Keep it up, we'll catch the pirate, and sink him along with the rest. Ho! Set feet row, set feet row, set feet row, set feet row.
Sailed at the head of the French, he did, sailed at the head of the French. But they swindled him out of his cash, they did, so away from them all he did wrench.
Ho! John Paul Jones is a pirate, no loyalty does he possess. Keep it up, we'll catch the pirate, and sink him along with the rest. Ho! Set feet row, 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 set feet row.
Now he's kicking up storms in the Black Sea, he is kicking up storms in the Black Sea. Fighting the Turks for the Russian queen, 'cause she pays him much more than the Yankee.
Oh, John Paul Jones is a pirate, no loyalty does he possess. Keep it up, we'll catch the pirate, and sink him along with the rest. Oh, John Paul Jones is a pirate, he may be just a chancer at best. Keep it up, we'll catch the pirate, and sink him along with the rest. Oh!
Once there was a mountain man who couldn't write his name, yet he deserves a front row seat in history's Hall of Fame. He forgot more about the Indians than we will ever know. He spoke the language of the Sioux, the Blackfoot and the Crow.
Let's drink to old Jim Bridger, yes, lift your glasses high.
As long as there's a USA, don't let his memory die.
That he was making history never once occurred to him.
But I doubt if we'd have been here if it weren't for men like Jim. He spoke with General Custer and said, listen, yellow hair, the Sioux are a great nation, so treat 'em fair and square. Sit in on their war council, don't laugh away their pride. But Custer didn't listen, at Little Bighorn Custer died.
Let's drink to old Jim Bridger, yes, lift your glasses high.
As long as there's a USA, don't let his memory die.
That he was making history never once occurred to him.
But I doubt if we'd have been here if it weren't for men like Jim. There are poems and there's legends that tell of Carson's fame. Yet compared to Jim Bridger, Kit was civilized and tame. These words are straight from Carson's lips if you place such store by him. If there's a man who knows this God-forsaken land, it's Jim.
Let's drink to old Jim Bridger, yes, lift your glasses high.
As long as there's a USA, don't let his memory die.
That he was making history never once occurred to him.
But I doubt if we'd have been here if it weren't for men like Jim. When John Paul Jones was a little boy, he pointed to the sea, said, when I get to be a man, a fighting man I'll be. I'll leave my mark on the ocean and my name in history. When John Paul was a member of the British Admiralty, he killed a sailor on his ship, which was a crime, you see. He changed his name to J.P. Jones and came to America. He fought in the rain and he fought in the sun and he fought in the moonlight too. He fought with his knife and he fought with his gun and he fought till his blood ran blue. But John Paul Jones was a fighting man was he. He sailed to the east and he sailed to the west and he helped set America free. When John Paul was a captain in the U.S. Naval Band, fighting for the glory and the freedom of our land, he made those British captains wish that they were on dry land. He sent their mighty vessels to the bottom of the sea. He took their bags of treasure and he sank their chest of tea. He gave his blood for all free men and his life for liberty. He fought in the rain and he fought in the sun and he fought in the moonlight too. He fought with his knife and he fought with his gun and he fought till his blood ran blue. John Paul Jones was a fighting man was he. He sailed to the east and he sailed to the west and he helped set America free. He fought in the rain and he fought in the sun and he fought in the moonlight too. He fought with his knife and he fought with his gun and he fought till his blood ran blue. John Paul Jones was a fighting man was he. He sailed to the east and he sailed to the west and he helped set America free.
To the town of Alfria rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip, and he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was an Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead, and he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the Ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas red, not cleared leather, for a bullet fairly ripped. And the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. Big iron, big iron, when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. Oh, the men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. And we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Get ready for the Jubilee, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give the hero 3 times 3, hurrah, hurrah. Oh, the laurel wreath is ready now to place upon his loyal brow, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. And we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. In 1861, hurrah, hurrah. That was when the war begun, hurrah, hurrah. In 1862, both sides were falling to, and we'll all drink stone wine when Johnny comes marching home. And we'll all drink stone wine when Johnny comes marching home. In 1863, hurrah, hurrah, old Abe ended slavery, hurrah, hurrah. In 1863, old Abe ended slavery, and we'll all drink stone wine when Johnny comes marching home. And we'll all drink stone wine when Johnny comes marching home. In 1864, hurrah, hurrah, it called for 500,000 more, hurrah, hurrah. In 1865, they talked rebellious strife, and we'll all drink stone wine when Johnny comes marching home. And we'll all drink stone wine when Johnny comes marching home.
Dust into his bare feet, but they didn't know that one fine day that he would rule this USA and be the best leader in all the land. Yes, young Abe Lincoln make a tall, tall man. Young Abe Lincoln make a tall, tall man. He walked many miles to school every day, and no kind of weather could keep him away. Learning to read and learning to write, he whipped any man in a wrestling fight. He whipped many of them with just one hand. Yes, young Abe Lincoln make a tall, tall man. Young Abe Lincoln make a tall, tall man. Now he was admitted to the lawyer's bar. People seeked his help from near and far. He could talk a country mile in an old courtroom, make Yes, young Abe Lincoln make a tall, tall man.
Young Abe Lincoln make a tall, tall man.
We had a big war while he's president. Finally won with the U.S. Grant. He heard both sides of the battle cry. Hated to see those soldiers die. He hated to fight his own Southland. Yes, young Abe Lincoln made a tall, tall man.
Young Abe Lincoln make a tall, tall man.
Yes, young Abe Lincoln make a tall, tall